All right, Stacey Turnage, everybody. Thank you for doing this, Stacey. It's much appreciated. Stacey's coming at us from Tulsa, Oklahoma. But before we get into it and your experience with Agent Launch, I'd love you to just give a quick intro of yourself, where you're at in the world. We already said Tulsa, and tell us a little bit about you and your business.
So I am a solo agent. I started the business, got licensed in 2017. I've been in the industry since 1993. And I have just, kind of blossomed and learned and had a lot of mistakes and just I'm doing business now. I'm so excited. And I love it. I love helping clients. I love learning. I love all the different aspects of running a business. The CEO aspect, the marketing aspect, the taking out the trash aspect, all aspects of it. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Very cool. And talk to us a little bit about your sole agent. What about your production in the last year or so?
So I started in 2018, full production. I did a little under 700,000. In 2019, I did 1.3 million. 2020, I did 3.2 million. 2021, I did 4.2. And already I've done 5 million. So I am on pace to hopefully double what I did last year. Yeah.
It's a pretty straight line growth. So
yes,
that's always awesome to see.
Yes.
Very cool. So yeah, tell me a little bit about, obviously you've been in our program for a little while now. I don't remember exactly how long, maybe you can touch on that, but what was it like before working with Agent Launch?
I think it was like just spending money and not knowing what I was spending money on, not understanding what I was spending money on, and not getting the results for the money that I spent. I was expensed out and I wasn't seeing very many results. And then you go and you listen to these companies and they sell you and you do it, and then you spend all this money and you realize, this isn't working, but they get to keep everything that they've done for you in your name about your business, and you walk away with no money, with very little conversion, and no access to the things that Agent Launch gave me personal access to and control over.
Very cool. So that's kind of the story I hear from a lot of people, is they've been burned before by a lot of different agencies. Because my opinion is, I think 95% of real estate marketing agencies don't have a winning product. And I think that's because real estate's a really kind of sexy industry to be in, because it's a very big industry, and that attracts a lot of new marketers and new companies. And it's hard as an agent to kind of sift through all of that and find who's the real deal and who's not. So
correct, because you have to do it all. You have to be agent, you have to be marketer, you have to be financier, you have to do it all. So by the time I found Agent Launch, I had spent thousands of dollars and had very little return.
Yeah, and that's pretty par for the course from what we hear, is like you got to get burned a few times to kind of find, I guess it's like dating. You got to try a few things out and get disappointed once in a while.
Kiss some frogs.
Okay, so what's it been like since joining us? Like, what is how do you feel now?
I think I feel first and foremost well educated, empowered, and basically understanding what everybody else had been trying to sell me, and understanding that I could do it myself and I could understand it. I think Agent Launch provided the perfect launch pad for me to take control of my marketing and what I looked like on, online. All of the things that the other companies made so inaccessible, Agent Launch made very accessible, and basically put it in layman's terms that this is how it works. And it's worked that way. And I've had some conversion, I've had some wins, but with everything, it's online leads. So you need patience, right? You also need patience. But the mere fact that it is my Google Ads account, that it is my, ad, it's directed toward my area, has been game changing.
Very cool. So you said something that I had to write down, which is Agent Launch is the launch pad for you to take control of your marketing. I really like that. You might have just given us a new slogan.
I need my royalties.
Yeah. So as you know, in in our business, we don't lie to people about how this stuff really works, which is you got to play the long game if you want this to work at a high level. And I think people are always so like, I want that quick dopamine hit. And that's just the world we live in, right? And so you got to play the long game. We are in one of the longest sales cycle businesses out there. So you have to approach it from a nurture standpoint first and foremost. With any kind of lead generation, in order for it to be successful, you need a strong back end. So that's obviously what we focus on. You did say you got a few specific results. I'm wondering if you could talk us through some of the specific results you have achieved thus far.
So the big result that I achieved, because it's about conversion, right? You're going to find people who are ready to transact. And after I set up my agent launch ads, I found two. One was an investor. He's sold in his condo or has renters in his condo and has already called me to buy his second unit. The second one was also an investor, but she was a $300,000 cash buyer ready to transact in 30 days. It took us a little while, even at 300 cash, but it took us a little while. Again, I talked to her yesterday. She's like, okay, we've gotten that one under the belt. I'm thinking about moving to Tulsa. So I'm looking for an owner-occupied property the next time. So I think those are the big wins as far as conversion is concerned. But for me personally, and as a business owner, it was being able to know how to do what I needed to do to market my business on Google, on YouTube, and that sort of thing, because other companies made it like it was the secret and only us, and we only know it, but Agent Launch opened a whole new world. It was like the Disney effect, if you will, like, wow, I can do this on my own. And then I can see some results.
That's yeah, amazing to hear. And what about pipeline? How do you feel about your pipeline right now?
My pipeline. You know what? I'm being honest. I got so many people in my pipeline until, thank God for automation, right? Because automation helps with that. It helps kind of like segment, people that are just looking opposed to people who are ready to transact in 30, 60, or 90 days. Although this is very much a relationship business, those relationships are built on transactions, right? So it has increased my database and in my pipeline, and it keeps me active. I have I have 9 active listings, one that I took active a couple hours ago. And that one of them was also one of the 9 is a Google PPC, result as well. So at the end of the month, I'll have, or the end of when that one sells, I'll have 3 Google PPC conversions. So it works. That is as simple as I can say it. It works.
Awesome. So 9 active listings. That's amazing. And you got this other guy who's buying another one with you.
Yep.
I always like to talk about pipeline because like it's nice to get these short-term results like you've gotten. But it's really like you got to look at it after 12 months and look backward. So many of the leads you generate in month 1 are going to close in month 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I think that is why we focus on the nurture and the conversion side of things first and foremost. So, yeah, I mean, what else would you say to someone? We make these videos for proof of concept, obviously, because there's a lot of people who are on the fence about joining us because it's a financial commitment. And,
sorry, the landline, telemarketer.
No worries. Yeah, so it's like a lot of people are hesitant to obviously make the financial investment because it's a pretty decent financial investment. And the reason it is that way is, of course, because we've built so much into the program to get you to the end result, which is transacting a significant amount of real estate. So what would you say about someone who is feeling on the fence? Maybe they're not sure if they should book a call, not sure if they should follow up. What would you say to that person?
I would say, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart to my toe to the longest strand of my hair, that it's the support, right? It is me, in a Slack conversation with Haley at 7:30 at night, me in a Slack conversation with you at 5 o'clock in the evening, saying, this doesn't work this way. And you guys taking that feedback, implementing that feedback, and being okay with, oh, you know what, that didn't work, let's course correct. The transparency, this is how you do it. There's no secrets. It's black and white. And I really appreciate in your videos, Eric, that it's like, here it is. If you follow this path, this is where it's going to lead you. So for me, telling someone, my biggest thing is transparent. They support you, they listen, and you will get results.
That's awesome. No, I appreciate you saying that. Another thing I'm going to ask is what would you say to someone who thinks they're just not in the right market? Like we do get this from some people, is like some of the testimonials on this channel, they, are in these markets with higher price points. And I think Tulsa is a bit of a lower price point. So what would you say to that?
I struggle with that luxury and that price point thing because I believe this simply, all of it adds up to volume and all of it adds up to units, right? And if someone is out, like you always say, searching on Google, they don't care what the price point is. They're looking for a house. And if they're in their market in Tulsa and they go Tulsa, homes for sale, they're going to get whatever those homes are for sale, right? Regardless of the price point, whether it's Los Angeles, whether it's Canada, whether it's Miami, Florida, it doesn't matter in my mind. The price point is the least concern for me, because once you get that client on the phone and you begin to have conversations with that client, you can flush out the price point. So for those who are afraid to do it because of the price point in your market, I think that's a false barrier. That's a mindset.
Well, I think it's too, I think the question is kind of around like people think like, oh, they don't make enough per listing in terms of commission. But I think you kind of said it there, which is like, even in lower price point markets, you might have a lower commission, but like it's about transactions and volume, because over time, transactions turn into more transactions, which turn into more referrals, repeat business. And that's a way for you to build a foundation that you can grow.
And my first Google PPC lead, he was $85,000, but he's already called to buy another condo.
There you go.
My second one was $300,000 cash. This third one, I just listed a house for $180,000. I think we as agents get stuck on this price point thing. I want to be a luxury agent. I want to do this. And really at the end of the day, whatever amount you do, if you do $185,000 sales, as $8.5 million at the end of the day. So you can get to that volume number just by doing business. I don't let a price point limit me from what I do.
Yeah, that's good advice. And I think, it just depends on obviously what market you're in, and the Google ads and things can generate, listings and buys of all sides. And that's why we get you to leverage yourself and build a team. So eventually one day you can cherry pick those higher price listings, right? But it all, one of my favorite mentors always said, like, it doesn't matter if we get $100,000 listing or a $1 million listing, we do the same marketing. Why? Because we get referrals from those people. If we go over and above, that $100,000 listing is going to notice all the extra stuff you did and how over and above you went for their little home, and they're going to tell everyone about it. And so they know that. And if you don't understand that, you need to understand that, because going over and above is what generates repeat referral business, and it builds you that foundation to work off. So
no matter where you start, I sold a guy in 2020 for 208. We sold it this year for 283. He bought a $500,000 house.
It's almost $1 million.
He's a past client, and he wasn't a Google PPC lead. I say that to say, if you treat your past clients right and you nurture them, no matter what number they came in at, if you do those things, the price points will increase.
100%. Any final thoughts? I really appreciate you jumping on here, but any final thoughts for anyone who might be watching?
I'm gonna just tell you, from the Nike approach, to just do it. You don't just do it. Like, I don't have, and Eric knows, I was, Eric and I met and had a conversation in the end of 2021. I was on my way to Houston driving. So that's my thing. Just do it, because you don't even understand the level of knowledge that you will gain until you do it. And I think as realtors and as agents, we put so much of our business in someone else's hands and we're paying them money when really we can control it and we can do it. We just need to be educated, and Agent Launch is a great place to get that education.
Words of the wise, Stacey Turnage, everyone. Okay, Stacey, well, I won't take up any more of your time. I really appreciate you jumping on here and doing this with us. It means the world to us to get your stamp of approval. As always, I look forward to continuing to work together, but I just want to give you a big thank you for coming on and sharing your experience.
Anytime. You guys let me know if you need anything else. Just do it.
Nike, let's go. Okay,
I
thanks.
know. They're going to kill us, but it works. Have a good one.
See you soon. Ciao.